Hello everyone, my name is Mark, and welcome to another episode of Outdoor School of Thought. I'm at one of my favorite intertidal zones located off of Highway 1 in Northern California. I got to this location at a negative 0.8 tide in hopes of catching some rockfish or some monkeyface prickleback eels with a poke pole. Poke pole fishing is easily one of the most accessible types of fishing that you can engage in. You don't have to spend much money, there are no expensive fishing poles or reels to purchase. The minimum requirements are that you have some sort of long pole, which could be bamboo, a gardening stick, a broken fishing pole without eyelets, or even a branch. From there, you have a choice of attaching a flattened and twisted coat hanger as an eyelet at the end, and then affixing either a leader line made of 40-pound mono or a barrel swivel, and then attaching it to a hook with some squid. When looking for a place to do poke pole fishing, I found that a lot of people look for structure poking out of the water in hopes that there are undercuts beneath those structures that could be little crevices or caves that fish could be hiding in. A common misconception about poke poling is that you are spearing the fish. However, you're just naturally presenting the bait, floating it around the crevices so that the fish will strike at it. Okay, so what I've got here is a monkeyface prickleback eel. Now, this fish gets a bad reputation, probably because of its looks. It's like, that's a face that only a mother would love, but it's actually a very tasty fish. Barely hooked. So I got a monkeyface prickleback eel. Let's go ahead and check the length on it. 19 inches. And I'd say because of its length, it should be around 18 years old. So it's about an 18-year-old fish right there. The reason why it's given that name, monkeyface prickleback eel, is obviously because of its fin that's following its back. Well, it's not very sharp, it's actually very flimsy. It's very slimy on the outside, and then you can see its face right there. It does somewhat resemble a monkey, and I think that's kind of its allure, but also one of the main reasons why people say it's ugly. But you know, it doesn't matter if it's ugly, what matters if it's tasty. So there we go. Now, what's interesting about this species is they can actually stay alive out of the water because they live in an intertidal zone. And so, you know, when the tide recedes, a lot of times they're left in caves underneath these rocks, which sometimes traps them in air. And so they usually wait out low tide until the tide comes back up again, and they go and find another cave or crevice to stay in. And so they can live up to 36 hours breathing air. So I'm actually gonna keep this guy alive a bit. Oh my gosh. Oh, you could actually see some of the sea lice. Oh, you can see some critters crawling on its skin. Usually its belly is full of kelp. When they're younger, they tend to eat crustaceans and other species of fish, but into adulthood they transition into being strictly herbivores. But for some reason they can't resist squid, and so you put a piece of squid in front of them, they go for it. So let me go ahead and put this guy in the tide pool. While poke pole fishing, there could be a possibility that rock crab could be a bycatch, meaning that while you could be targeting rockfish or eels, crabs could easily get on the hook as well. Oh, I got a big crab. Oh. Now, usually it's not legal to keep a crab like this. You can't catch them by hook and line. Over the course of an hour, you can see that the visible amount of structure and the depth of the water has changed. You can clearly see how I am attempting to present the bait underneath these boulders. When fishing in tide pools, it's more about bait presentation and giving the illusion that the bait is floating in the water than actually jabbing at the fish, which could lead to foul hooking. Oh yeah! Hell yeah! Got one rockfish today. Alright, take a look at this guy. We've got what I believe is an olive rockfish. And you got to be careful when you handle these because They have spines that have venom, and if you get stung by one of them, you know, your hand gets a bit numb. The best thing you can do is actually run it under the hottest water you can tolerate, because the heat from the water destroys the proteins in the venom. So let me go ahead and hook this guy. I mean, the bite from a rockfish is very distinct. It's very aggressive and side to side. Barely hooked, but it's on the lip and it's snagging. Oh, there we go. we're just steaming them. And would be sufficient. Yeah. If you found value in anything that I've shared on this channel, you can support by liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Outdoor School of Thought. And we also have merchandise on Teespring. Check it out.